Johnson & Johnson's single-dose, one-and-done shot is making its way to communities across the country just days after the FDA signed off on its use.
Starting yesterday, we began executing on our plans by distributing 3.9 million doses of Johnson & Johnson to states, tribes, and territories, and also to pharmacies and community health centers. Johnson & Johnson doses will be delivered as early as tomorrow.
About 7.5% of Americans have been fully vaccinated by now. That includes, we've just learned, former President Trump and his wife Melania. A Trump advisor today acknowledged for the first time they were inoculated at the White House back in January. That was just months after they both came down with the coronavirus. Unlike the new president and vice president, the Trumps, though, kept it private, which, of course, erases the public health benefit of seeing our leaders get the vaccine. And that goes especially among members of Trump's often vaccine-skeptical political base. Even with the good news about the new rollout of vaccines today, the CDC director warns the country is at a precarious point still in this pandemic.
I remain deeply concerned about a potential shift in the trajectory of the pandemic. The latest CDC data continue to suggest that recent declines in cases have leveled off at a very high number. I am really worried about reports that more states are rolling back the exact public health measures we have recommended to protect people from COVID-19.
President Biden's COVID relief bill is now with the Senate after the House passed it early Saturday morning. Biden plans to spend much of this week lobbying his fellow Democrats to support the bill. He'll need all 50 of them, since it's unlikely to get any help from Republicans. Today, he held a virtual meeting with a group of Democratic senators talking about the bill. The president also had a virtual meeting with Mexico's leader, part of his effort to turn away from Trump immigration policies while trying to avoid any kind of new crisis at the border. Biden's new Homeland Security Secretary described what he says is the damage done to our nation's immigration process by his predecessors.
The prior administration dismantled our nation's immigration system in its entirety. Quite frankly, the entire system was gutted. It takes time to build out of the depths of cruelty that the administration before us established. We have begun to develop and rebuild the program to reunify individuals with their families here in the United States, as was once the case.
Secretary Mayorkas added that the administration is considering allowing those families separated at the border under Trump to stay in our country permanently. Biden now also has a new education secretary. The Senate has confirmed Miguel Cardona today, and Merrick Garland is one step closer to becoming the next Attorney General. Senate Judiciary Committee voted to send his nomination onto the full Senate. At his confirmation hearing, Garland promised to make the prosecution of the Capitol rioters his top priority. Today, new court filings revealed the feds alleged the Proud Boys militia group dressed, quote, incognito and spread out to many different locations from which they could force entry into the Capitol. Importantly, tomorrow, FBI Director Chris Wray will appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee to answer questions about the intelligence concerning the insurrection. Meanwhile, former President Trump and his surrogates continued this weekend to spread the big lie that set the stage for the attack on the Capitol. He made his first public appearance at the CPAC convention Sunday, where he attacked those who voted against him during his second impeachment and left no doubt about his role in the party.
We're not starting new parties. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. The Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Pat Toomey. And in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger, Dan Newhouse, Anthony Gonzalez, that's another beauty, Fred Upton, Jamie Herrera Butler, Peter Meyer, John Katko, David Valadao, and of course the warmonger, a person that loves seeing our troops fighting, Liz Cheney. How about that? Hopefully they'll get rid of her with the next election. With your help, we will take back the House, we will win the Senate, and then a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House. Who will that be, I wonder?
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.